Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Goal to Goal Podcast. My name is Jake, and today, I just was kind of bored, and I was just kind of thinking of a bunch of stuff, and I just randomly thought up this video idea. But as you can see the list here, I made a list of how likely I think it is for every team to make the playoffs at this point in the season as we're going into week 13. So before we start the video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you do enjoy the content on this channel, because this is a fun source and informative source of all sorts of NFL content, as you can see here. So let's get into this. Okay, so we have pretty much locked, which means they're like 95% going to make it. Probably will, which means they have like a 75% chance, which would mean they'd literally have to like lose almost the rest of their games to miss the playoffs, or just like not play as good as the rest of their division. Maybe, which means maybe they have like a 50-50 shot at it, but even if they did make the playoffs, they're probably not going to go anywhere. And then eliminated is just the teams that are flat out not going to go to the playoffs, okay? So first, we're going to start off with the Broncos. I did not think I would say this. I thought at this point they would be probably will back in like July, but as of now, they're eliminated. So the Denver Broncos are eliminated. I don't think they're gonna go to the playoffs at all. The Lions, I'd like to put in maybe, but I'm gonna have to put them in eliminated. But as for the Broncos, I think their coach is gonna get fired. For the Lions, I think they're going to stick with Dan Campbell. I think he's doing some good things for this team and is improving this team. And in a few years, they could be a definite playoff contender. The Chicago Bears, again, I'm going to have to put in eliminated. Okay? The Bears are a team that is just waiting for the draft next season and wants good, young, skill players to help make their team into a young playoff contender someday. The Buccaneers, I'm going to put in probably will. Here's my thing. It's them, the Falcons, Saints, Panthers. I feel like one of these NFC East teams is going to end up collapsing at the end of the season, which will open up a wild card spot. And I think the wild card spot will go to whoever doesn't win the NFC South, okay? So I'm going to put the Bucks in probably will. So if the Falcons win the South, I think they'll still make a wild card spot because you have Tom Brady. There's no way you're not going to make the playoffs. But I mean, if I'm wrong, if at the end of the season, if I'm wrong about this, I'll own up to it. Pittsburgh Steelers eliminated, but I do think they have good things on the horizon. Carolina Panthers eliminated. Like the Bears, I think they're just waiting for the draft, get some good draft and young skill players. Maybe go for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or one of those young quarterback prospects. But if I were the Panthers, I don't know. You have Matt Corral on your bench, so maybe try him. I don't know. Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to put probably will. They'd literally have to lose like every game to miss the playoffs. Do I think they're going to go anywhere? Not really. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. I think the Eagles will probably go farther than them. I don't know. But I think they will make the playoffs. I don't know how far they're going to go, but we'll see. I'm not being biased. I just, from recent experiences of watching them make the playoffs, I've just seen how this team is. New England Patriots, I'm going to put them in maybe. I'm going to say they have like a 45% chance of making it because you do have the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins in your division. But, they could fill up the AFC wildcard spots maybe if they win a lot of their games. That's all I got to say there. Houston Texans, eliminated. They're the only one-win team in the NFL right now, and they're eliminated. They're eliminated. There's no way they're making the playoffs. Even if they won out from here somehow, they're not making the playoffs. And one thing I noticed from this year last year, there's a lot more bad teams in this year than there were last year. And like last year, there were a lot more good teams than there were last year. Vikings, pretty much locked. They have the division locked up. The Packers are not going to have a better record than them. The Bears or Lions are not going to have a better record than them. They're locked. Raiders, I'm going to say eliminated. Do I think Josh McDaniels is going to get fired? There's a 50-50 shot there. But I think They just need to get some better players on the defensive side of the ball. I think their offense is pretty good, but their defense needs some help. And hot take here, I think the Raiders might be taking a look at Tom Brady this offseason. Just a thought, okay? Just a thought. Philadelphia Eagles pretty much locked. Even if they were to lose every game, say they lost every game the rest of the season, they're still going to make the wild card. They had double-digit wins. They're pretty much locked. San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to put in probably will. Unless the Seahawks have a better record than you, you're in. Okay, San Fran. Good job to you. Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm gonna have to say eliminated, but I think out of all the teams in this eliminated tier right here, I think the Jaguars have the best shot at making it if one of these teams were to go on a surprise end of the season run. Okay? Packers, I'm gonna say eliminated. With all the other teams in the NFC that you have making a big push for the playoffs right now, and with how they've been going this season, they're not gonna make it. The Giants, if there was a tier between maybe and probably will, they'd be there. But, I have to say probably will. This is the first time in 5 years they've even tried to get this close to the playoffs. So I'm going to say they're going to get to the playoffs and maybe sneak a wild card win, but the divisional at most is what they're getting to. Los Angeles Chargers, I'm going to put in maybe. If Justin Herbert and the offense and defensive side of the ball goes off on this second half run of the season, then I think they will I think they'll take a wild card spot. If they just collapse, then no. Bengals, I'm going to say probably will. I think they will get a wild card spot. They're the defending AFC champions. I don't see a reason why not, unless you're the 2022 Los Angeles Rams. But that's all I got for that. Los Angeles Rams. Never in my life did I think I would be doing this with a defending Super Bowl champion, but I have to go with eliminated. 3 wins. I feel bad for the team. It's one of those situations where you want to feel bad, but you can't really feel bad though. They just won a Super Bowl, so that's why a lot of people don't really feel bad for them. But their whole team's injured, and you're a defending Super Bowl champion. And the last time that happened, where you won a Super Bowl and didn't make the playoffs, was the 2016 Broncos, and then before that, it was the 2003 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they only happened 3 other times before that. So, definitely a rare thing to happen, and very unfortunate for Los Angeles. But yeah, it happens. Atlanta Falcons, I'm gonna say maybe. If they can beat out the Bucks, then I think they will be in the playoffs. Arizona Cardinals, yikes. If there was something between eliminated and maybe I'd put that. But right now, I'm going to put eliminated. Just with the stacked NFC teams and all the other teams making a push for the playoffs, they're not making it. Ravens, I'm going to put in pretty much locked, okay? I think them or the Bengals are taking the division, and if the Ravens did lose the division, that would mean the Bengals would have a good enough record to win the division, which would mean the Ravens would most likely take a wild card spot. Kansas City Chiefs, again, pretty much locked. They're the Chiefs, and they're in a very disappointing division this season, so they're locked. Tennessee Titans, again, locked. They're in a pretty less than mediocre division, if I had to put it into one word, where you have the 1-win Texans, the Jaguars that are looking like they can be something a lot better than they are this year and the next coming years, and then you just have the Colts who are the Colts, okay? New Orleans Saints, I'm going to say eliminated, They've made some bad decisions on the offensive end of the ball, a lot of those being coaching too, playing Andy Dalton over fully healthy Jameis Winston. I don't really see that. Andy Dalton's good, but I think Jameis Winston is younger and it's better. Indianapolis Colts, eliminated. They're as eliminated as can be, I feel like. Jeff Saturday, he might be the guy. We'll have to see, but not this season. Miami Dolphins, I'm going to have to put in probably will. They have the same record as the Bills right now. And if you have the same record as the Bills, that means you're good. And then you have Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. You're in a perfect position to make the playoffs, Miami. So don't be too worried about missing the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills pretty much locked. They're the Bills. They're locked like everyone expected them to be since week 1. Washington Commanders, I'm going to say maybe. There's that quarterback controversy with Taylor Heinicke and Carson Wentz, which, I think Carson Wentz definitely has more experience and maybe not as good decision making, but experience wise and able to just get it out in those tough situations. I think he's better in. But Taylor Heinicke, though, he's doing something special right now. So, I could see why they would sit Carson Wentz, but personally, I'm a Carson Wentz fan, so I might be a little biased with this one. But I think either quarterback, I think Carson Wentz or Heinicke, I think either of them, whoever's playing quarterback, I think they still have the same shot at making the playoffs. The Seattle Seahawks, I'm going to say probably will. Because I think them, the 49ers, they have around the same record right now. I forget. They're like 1 or 2 games apart. Or they may have the same record. I forget. So I'm just going to put them both at probably will. Maybe one of them takes the wild card spot. Because, one of these NFC's teams, Giants or Commanders, I think one of them is going to collapse here, okay? And then our last team, the New York Jets. I'm really happy to say this because, I've always respected Jets and Jets fans for sticking with their team through all the Jets moments, okay? So I'm going to put maybe. I do hope they make the playoffs. I do like it when the Jets do good. I like to see them succeed. And I think they have a decent shot making the playoffs if they can take up one of those wild card spots. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Goal to Goal Podcast. My name is Jake, and hope you all are having an amazing day. And yeah, see you guys. Go Birds.